Also, I'm not voting for anyone who's been part of this school system. Why would I trust them on the school board when they kept their mouth shut all the years they worked there? So I really hope to see you there. Can't think of a better way to spend a Saturday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend from the Zoom Wall Zone.
Happy Friday, a mostly sunny day in the forecast, but much cooler by about 20 to 25 degrees compared to yesterday. Still, it's a pretty nice afternoon with highs in the upper 50s to lower 60s today. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, low temperatures in the upper 30s to lower 40s. Saturday, mostly cloudy, a 20% chance of a shower, but much warmer. Highs back in the upper 60s to lower 70s. I'm meteorologist Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the LeaderMan. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Today is March 4th.
A few hugs can go a long way.
March 4th is Hug a GI Day.
National Hug a GI Day.
Hug a GI Day is a holiday
to honor and appreciate our men and women in the U.S. military.
Give me a hug.
You mean hug me, hug me.
Bring it in. Let's hug this out.
Let's hug it out.
Let's hug it out.
Hug a GI Day.
Give me a hug. Let us begin.
Hearts go astray, leaving her when they go. I went away just when you needed me so. Oh, yeah. Filled with regret, I come back begging you. Forget, where's the love we once knew? Open up your eyes, then you realize here I am with my everlasting love. Need you by my side, girl, to be my bride. You'll never be denied. Everlasting love from the very start. Open up your heart, be a lasting part of everlasting love. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is time once again for Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams, along with the Colonel, retired Marine Colonel Jeff Drummond. Good morning, Colonel.
Good morning, Moore County. Time once again to take in the fresh air of truth and freedom found only here at WEEB. Hey, really nice weather out there. If you missed it yesterday, you got a second chance today, at least for a little while. And, of course, as everyone has finally figured out, well, almost everyone, the masks are useless, so don't bother. If you missed it yesterday, the NFL has suspended all of the stupidity for the coming season. No masks, none of the other restrictions, no 6 feet, no testing, no nothing. So the NFL has finally figured it out. I think the players finally threw their hands up and said, "Stop it! We're not going to play with this anymore." There's a few holdouts, but get out and enjoy your day.
Did you see where Governor DeSantis yesterday was in a room to give a speech, and they had like 6 kids up behind him, all had masks on?
Yeah, and he told them to take them off.
Yeah. Says they're not doing anything. Take them off.
Yeah. Well, Governor DeSantis has been consistent throughout, just like we have. Masks are useless.
Don't forget, of course, we're being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's available to you at our website at talk973.com or talk1041.com or WEEB990.com. Top middle of the page is where the video link is. In the upper right-hand corner of the page, you'll find our 24-hour-a-day stream of WEEB. To listen to that anytime, anywhere, you just click on that icon that says, "On the air, listen live." If you click it once, you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area. Well, it's going to be a little cooler than we've been used to. Let's see. Get it up here, Stevie. Right. Of course. When I'm not there, it won't load up. When I'm here, it will. All right. Look for mostly sunny today. That's the good part. But cooler temperatures, that's the bad part. High of only 59. Then tonight, partly cloudy, 42 degrees. Saturday, we begin to warm up again as the wind shifts more from the northeast, partly cloudy with a high of 72. Saturday night, partly cloudy, 57. Sunday, partly cloudy, high of 82. Monday, partly cloudy, 82. Little chance of rain Monday night, albeit a small one. Tuesday, partly cloudy, 70. 50-50 shot of rain Tuesday night. That'll dissipate by morning. We'll drop it to a trace of rain. A high of 62 Wednesday. And next Thursday, partly cloudy. Fair chance of a scattered shower and a high of 66. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are calm. Pressure is 30-48. Solar radiation 31 watts per square meter. Dew point 25. Humidity 49. It's sunny and 43 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM. 104.1 FM and 990 AM WEEB. All right. It is 7:36, 36 past the hour on this Friday morning finally. And it's always good when Friday comes along because it just puts you in a good mood. The week's just about over. Kiev continues to be bombarded. They took the nuclear power plant that controls 25% of the electricity there, and some parts of the town still have electricity. One thing I haven't seen is power lines up on a pole. They must have theirs underground. Funny how that works, huh?
Well, when you're rebuilding cities after they've been destroyed, yeah, you might as well do it right.
Yeah. So that's the way they have it, and they still enjoy power in a lot of part of the towns. There's several towns that have fallen, and electricity is a little more scarce there. But by controlling the power plant, they control 25% of the country's power.
Well, they're destroying the power plant, the nuclear power plant there, not Chernobyl, the one to the south towards the Black Sea. Yeah, that's on fire.
Yeah, they did get the fire out last night, finally, when they lit the fire engines in. And they said it was the administrative building at the site that took the hit. But, man, I would be kicking somebody's butt if they're dropping bombs that close to a nuclear power plant. Because
nobody's... that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. Because if it does get hit, the biggest risk is going to be the radioactive cloud that thing will disperse, and that will travel all over and around the world. It could come right here, just depending on the wind patterns. Okay, let's jump into our sound bites this morning. See if we can generate a little comfort for you. First up in the queue, of course, is going to be Best of the Late Night Unique Boys, and see if they can make the Colonel laugh. Here we go.
The JetBlue pilot was removed from the cockpit of a plane in Buffalo because he was suspected of being drunk.
Yeah. After he blew into the breathalyzer, it didn't even say a number, just said new high score. And you go.
A JetBlue pilot blew twice the legal limit after being removed from the cockpit of a plane. They were immediately suspicious since the flight was Delta.
IKEA announced that it's closing all 17 of its stores in Russia. IKEA said that they'll do whatever it can to throw a useless tiny wrench into Russia's economy.
Defense officials in Ukraine have warned that the Kremlin could be using deepfake videos to spread misinformation to Russians. Okay, I knew Putin didn't have an Iron Man suit.
Next year, HBO Max will begin streaming U.S. soccer matches. Of course, since it's HBO, every match will have full frontal nudity.
Mighty so-so. Let's do this. Let's listen to Jamie Foxx quickly roll through impressions of Kermit the Frog, Sammy Davis Jr., Jay-Z, and Donald Trump.
So I would do Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog, Sesame Street News, here with the Three Little Pigs.
Which actually sounds like Sammy Davis Jr.
Because sometimes who can take a sunrise?
Which actually sounds like Jay-Z.
Nice party. It's crazy. Beyonce. Well, you know what we was doing.
It's just a lot of great people in my life. It's a lot of great people. That's a great people in both sides. So I like to say, excuse me, fake news. They're trying to give me the...
Wasn't bad.
Yeah, who was that?
Jamie Foxx.
Who's Jamie Foxx?
He's a movie actor. He's been in a lot of stuff. He dated Tom Cruise's ex-girlfriend when she turned 33. Tom Cruise dumped her, and I'm trying to remember her name, but it's skipping me right now. She did some movies when she was just a young teenager, and more movies as time went on. But Jamie fell in love with her, and they talked about marriage, but then they broke up. Maybe somebody has cold feet.
It's Hollywood. It's not like there's anything really in the way of love going on there. They're in love with the publicity. That's about it.
Joy Behar, you'll enjoy this story. She sure knows how to make an entrance on The View yesterday. She fell straight on her 79-year-old butt while trying to climb into her chair.
She's 79 years old?
Yeah.
She should have been retired. They should ship her out somewhere.
Bad news is she was unhurt. It urged people to take falls seriously, given what happened to Bob Saget. Here's the little incident.
Come on, just stop, just stand.
Let me tell you, these chairs are getting...
These chairs move. You touch it, and you're on the ground.
It's happened to all of us at one time or
25
another.
years, that has never happened. Who do I sue? Who do I sue? I went flying. You did. I just missed the step as usual. Okay. And are you okay? Because people really do. I fall a lot, but the main thing, just to talk seriously, when Bob Saget fell, he died. Yeah. If you hit your head and you feel dizzy or you have blurred vision, don't realize you feel like you want to go to sleep, go to the doctor because that will kill you.
Yeah.
But I've fallen a lot. I fall all the time. I'm a klutz.
That makes me nervous. I don't like that you
this chair was like The Exorcist.
It's a menace.
We hate, for the record, we hate these chairs.
So what did that article read? It said the bad news was she was unhurt?
That was my...
Oh. Well.
Come on. That was my funny insert.
Okay, well, she's a jackass, but I don't wish that she'd fall and break her neck.
She hurt her pride.
So, okay.
All right, the latest Batman movie opens this weekend, and it'll be interesting to see how Robert Pattinson does behind the mask and if he draws any inspiration from previous films, maybe even Twilight.
Robert Pattinson starred as a handsome bloodsucker in the Twilight movies.
You're impossibly fast and strong. Your skin is pale white and ice cold. You don't go out into the sunlight.
Now he's a superhero.
Vampire.
Get ready for the Vampire Batman.
Who are you under there?
I'm Vengeance. The Vampire Batman, now playing at the Hematography Cinemas.
Okay, well, I have no clue who he is.
So. The one Christian Bale played Batman, and he was horrible. He would never speak above a whisper. And he go, "I'm Batman."
Well,
I went, would somebody turn up the sound so we can actually hear this crazy guy talk?
Who's the clown that did it after him? I didn't watch any of the movies.
Ben Affleck.
Yes. I didn't watch any of those movies that he was in. How many times
he
did
was a lot better than Christian Bale, I can tell you that.
I don't know.
But be forewarned, if you're going to Batman, it's a 3-hour movie.
Ooh. Do they, oh yeah, all right. Well, I don't know. I'm not likely to watch it.
I don't think they could hold my attention that long, because I don't know if they started him back again when he was a kid, his parents are murdered. And
3 hours tells me they're starting from scratch, so I don't think I need to see that yet.
Yeah. Well, we've heard the headline news, but what about the not headline news?
This is not headline news. Joy Behar fell on her butt on The View. It was so bruised she couldn't talk out of it for the rest of the show. AMC will base ticket prices on the popularity of a movie. For instance, The Batman will be $20. Anything with Rob Schneider will be free. A piece of space junk will collide with the moon today. It'll generate a cloud of white dust not seen since Charlie Sheen sneezed. And today is National Employee Appreciation Day, or as Jeff Bezos knows it, Friday. This is not headline news.
You know, they're talking about...
That first one was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, she was unable to talk out of it for the rest of the show. Let's see. There is a rocket booster that's going to crash. In fact, it crashed into the moon just a few minutes ago at 7:26, and it's hitting the far side of the moon, the dark side, the side we don't see. So, can't see it, can't hear it. Are you sure it crashed?
What? It was a booster from what rocket? Was it one of ours?
I don't know. I didn't read that deep into it.
Yeah, because the Chinese supposedly left something up there on the dark side. I'm just wondering if
it could be.
Wondering if this fell into the middle of whatever that's whatever that is.
They said it would make a crater. You just be like Cataclysm's days when it was taking a lot of shots. U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers in Kentucky seized 4 pounds of marijuana last week, hidden inside a box of Lucky Charms.
You're always after me, Lucky Charms.
A dog named Carrie alerted the officers to the stash. Here's, it make for a heavy cereal box. Nowadays they make it in, they spin it up into pottery. What was it they stowed? Oh, onions. They made it look like onions and shipped pallets and pallets of it. And all the while, it was actually cocaine. A picture is... don't care about that. Oh, yeah, I do. Picture is going viral, taken by an Australian jogger, Harry Haynes, of an unknown creature that he says could even be an alien. To be fair, the area has seen a lot of rainfall recently, so it might be a sea creature, but academics at the University of Sydney and the University of South Wales haven't been able to identify it yet. Now, to give you some sense of what it looks like, if you take an elephant fetus that's just starting to form, so you have kind of a round blob. Well, it'll have an eyeball in it where it would be on an elephant, and it has a little trunk hanging down the length of his body. The legs aren't forming yet. That's what it looks like anyway. But I don't know if they have elephants in Australia. So it could be an unformed octopus. Like that eye would be where an octopus eye would be, and that trunk hanging down could be one of the many tentacles it will grow. So I vote for the latter. I'll show you a picture of it later, Colonel. You can tell me what it is.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Good news story. Texas chain cheesecake shop, well, that's all I need to know, has been selling desserts and donating all the money to help the people of Ukraine. Here's the owner, Anna Aphasia of Laka Cheesecake and Espresso, talking about how they raised over $70,000 for the people in need.
This weekend are going towards the help of the Ukrainian armed forces. Every dollar that you have spent in our shop is going to be donated. We have collected $72,405.
Okay, got some more information on the rocket that hit the moon. It's part of an old rocket booster and was expected to crash into the moon this morning at 6,000 miles per hour at 7:26. They thought it was from SpaceX rocket at first, but then it was a Chinese rocket.
Oh.
They think it's the first time we've ever landed something on the moon by mistake. And like I said, the Batman opens up this week in theaters. Stars Robert Pattinson as the Dark Knight. It also stars Zoe Kravitz, Paul Dano, and Colin Farrell. Here's our edited soundtrack of the movie. Actually, this is the theme of the movie. So you got the flavor of that. But here's the original Batman theme from the 1960s TV show on ABC.
There you go. Adam West.
Little quiz. What actor played Batman in the first Batman movie? If you said Michael Keaton, you're wrong.
Oh, in the first movie?
Yeah, first Batman movie.
Well, that was back in the 60s. That was Adam West.
That's right.
Yeah, they had the series, and then they do two, full-length movies. Maybe it was just one.
Something like that. But yeah, it was Adam West.
Yeah, that was like 60. It was the late 60s, something like that.
Then there was the theme from Danny Elfman's soundtrack of Batman 1989. That starred Michael Keaton as the Winged Warrior. Director Tim Burton asked Prince to write an original song for the '89 blockbuster Batman. Prince took it on as an entire album project. Very little actually made it into the film, but the album went #1. Here's an edited version of Bat Dance featuring movie drops from Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton. Sheena Easton also provided some vocals.
Oh, I got a live one here.
Go with a smile.
All right, I'm Batman out there.
Yeah, that's about it.
Well, I'm gonna go here next. I believe Twitter feeds from late yesterday of what Twitter folks are saying, like Mark Rubio said Russian soldiers have entered the nuclear plant in Ukraine. There's a growing fire on the site, and now firefighters a firefight occurring inside the 9th largest nuclear power plant in the world. And get this one from John Kennedy, the senator. The Biden administration just gave Putin $18 billion via the IMF. I begged them not to do it, but they just forked over the money, and people might want to ask Secretary Yellen, what's up with that? So here is Putin taking on Ukraine, got the whole world's condemnation on him, storing everything as he goes, and we give him $18 billion. I tell you, the people in Washington don't have a grain of common sense amongst them.
Well, I don't know that it's a lack of common sense. I think it's a deliberate moves by these people who are no longer believing in the American system. I think. I don't know.
Somebody, I can smell somebody's getting rich on it.
Yeah, well, of course, it's green. It's always money. None of this stuff, whether it's the solar panels, all that fakery, that's all about money. All the racial crap, Al Sharpton and BLM, that's about money. None of it's about what they purport it to be. It's all money.
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg on why Biden isn't reversing his anti-energy agenda to bring down gas prices. We have to make sure we're not galloping. This is Pete Buttigieg. We have to make sure we're not galloping after permanent solutions to immediate short-term problems. You sound like the vice president.
Now, in his particular case, I think, he's just stupid. And we know Biden is mentally incompetent. So, there is some stupidity, whatever, involved in this stuff, but the rest of it is all money.
Some other things we need to know today so we don't sound stupid. CNN Plus streaming service is set to launch this spring with an introductory subscription of $2.99 per month for life, rising to $5.99 per month when the promotion runs out. President Biden's State of the Union address reached 38 million people. All of them said he sucked. That was my part of the win.
Well, apparently, his ratings, even among the CNN duplicitous clowns there, nobody liked it. That's a fact.
Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson, who used to play at State, says he spends $1 million a year staying fit. That's a lot of personal training going on.
Okay, yeah, wow. Again, it's all about the money. So, he's got personal trainers, and, they know the cash cow when they see it. So.
Alan Ladd Jr., the Oscar-winning producer and studio boss, who, as a 20th Century Fox executive, greenlit Star Wars, he's died at the age of 84. No cause of the death. Amazon says it's going to close 68 of its brick-and-mortar stores so they can focus more on Whole Foods and their Amazon Fresh location. And movie theaters around the country are introducing variable pricing, charging customers more to see blockbuster films. Yeah, all about the money, And Apple has scheduled March 8th as next Tuesday. They're rumored to roll out a budget iPhone. It's coming up on 8 o'clock. All your latest news, sports, and weather is next.
Happy Friday. A mostly sunny day in the forecast, but much cooler by about 20 to 25 degrees compared to yesterday. Still, it's a pretty nice afternoon with highs in the upper 50s to lower 60s today. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, low temperatures in the upper 30s to lower 40s. Saturday, mostly cloudy, a 20% chance of a shower, but much warmer. Highs back in the upper 60s to lower 70s. I'm meteorologist Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sandhills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Europe's largest nuclear power station has fallen to the Russians. The plant in Ukraine has 6 reactors. The complex, but not the reactors, hit by Russian artillery fire, igniting a blaze which has since been put out. International monitors report no release of radioactivity as a result of the attack, which the U.S. Embassy in Kiev labels a war crime. Congressional Democrats and Republicans banding together, urging an end of all Russian oil imports. The Biden administration, though, says it would lead to even higher gas prices. An argument that Democrat Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia is not buying.
For the sake of humankind, this is not right. And for us to think it might be an inconvenience?
The idea that we get any oil at all from Russia is lending more weight to Republican calls for a return to Trump-era energy independence by increasing U.S. oil and natural gas production. And following the latest developments in the embattled Ukrainian capital of Kiev.
The shelling that we've heard in the distance, thought to be around 10 to 15 kilometers away, has become more continuous. We heard an explosion certainly within 10 kilometers, and I think that's a reflection of this continued Russian advance from the north. More troops are reinforcing that armored convoy, which has remained stuck for the past couple of days 30 kilometers north. We don't think it's moved too much, but the worry that what we are seeing in Mariupol, a city that continues to be heavily shelled, a city that continues to be surrounded and choked by Russian forces. 500,000 people there without running water and energy for another day.
The BBC's James Waterhouse in Kiev. 2 Chicago police officers shot and wounded early this morning. Non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect in custody. Dow futures down 295 points. And NASDAQ futures off 106. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This view was worth a hike.
Right? And it's a good way to stay on top of my health.
Yes, I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit Cologuard.com.
I'm in.
States rushing to use up stockpiles of extra COVID vaccine doses before they expire.
In many areas of the United States, the demand for coronavirus vaccine has collapsed. The CDC reports that in the past week, the percentage of the population living in counties where the virus risk poses a low or medium threat has risen from 70 to 90%. Right now, roughly 65% of all Americans are fully vaccinated and about 76% have received at least one shot. Public health departments say they are shuffling doses around to try and find providers that will use them. From Michigan to North Carolina, state officials are telling the Associated Press that millions of doses have already gone to waste. Jennifer King, Washington.
The UN's top human rights body voting to appoint a 3-member panel to monitor human rights in Ukraine. The Human Rights Council voting 32-2 with 13 abstentions to pass a resolution presented by many Western nations. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. A couple of years after being sidelined by COVID, the Peace Corps heading back into the field.
2 years after evacuating posts around the world due to the pandemic, volunteers will again depart for assignments in a few days. An initial group who were evacuated in March of 2020 as the coronavirus began to spread will go to Zambia and the Dominican Republic mid-month. The Corps plans to return volunteers to their posts throughout the year based on the number of COVID cases and hospital capacity in the host country, as well as the ability to transport volunteers to medical evacuation centers. Rhonda Rockster reporting.
Pakistani police say the death toll in the devastating bombing of a Shiite mosque in the northwestern city of Peshawar has risen to 45. with another 65 people wounded. Authorities say the death toll will likely rise as many of the wounded are in critical condition. Again, on Wall Street this hour, Dow futures down 314 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
We're proud to be working with our local businesses for the greatest comeback of all time.
Come together.
With Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
I'm Congressman Dan Bishop. American troops risk their lives to protect our freedoms every day. But President Biden's policy will punish soldiers for exercising their own freedoms.
Weijia Jiang is at the White House. So Weijia, it was actually President Biden who directed this change.
Service members who refuse to get vaccinated could be reprimanded or punished.
This is not about freedom or personal choice. We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin, and your refusal has cost all of us.
President Biden's policies are punishing and reprimanding soldiers.
CBS 17's Mackenzie Staska was live outside Fort Bragg.
At least 350 soldiers at Fort Bragg could see their careers come to an end for refusing the COVID vaccine.
I'm Congressman Dan Bishop. I'm sponsoring legislation to protect our troops from President Biden's vaccine mandate. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
John Cole's Plumbing Professionals wants to remind you that as the seasons change, it's important to keep up the plumbing basics to avoid cold weather damage. Things like disconnecting your water hoses and storing them in a dry place, or simply insulating pipes that are exposed to the elements. Simple precautions like these can prevent winter weather nightmares.
Hi, this is John Cole. If you've got a plumbing problem, don't just call a plumber, call a professional at 910-639-4933.
John Cole's Plumbing Professionals.
Aaron Cooper here with Cooper Ford. To say the past year and a half has been tough is an understatement. And it's during these times that we truly value the community in which we all live in. At Cooper Ford, we continue to do all we can to pour support back into the community because taking care of each other is what it's all about. And that's why we won't have any market adjustment stickers or any of our new Fords like so many other dealers. We believe in fair and honest pricing and have from day one. So please come see us here in beautiful Carthage or visit us on the web at cooperford.net.
Cooper Ford, working hard to be your hometown dealer.
This is the perfect time of the year to bust out all your Echo tools and equipment from Beaver Equipment. Thanks to all the storms, my new Echo chainsaw from Beaver Equipment has been getting a good workout. Beaver Equipment is the place to go for rough and rugged Echo equipment for real men. They offer 5-year warranties and are locally owned and operated. So men, get out there and enjoy your Echo Power equipment from Beaver Equipment, Highway 211 in Aberdeen, 910-944-0402.
The best in-store service, unbeatable prices, locally owned. Hi, this is Catherine Phelps. Joe and I are the new owners of your local Sears hometown store. We're creating relationships and helping our customers make an informed buying decision is our business. The month of March, all home appliances are up to 30% off and extra discounts with a Sears card or 12 months no interest. And remember, we lease to own every day. Shop your locally owned Sears hometown store in the Town and Country Shopping Center, Aberdeen.
War Dogs Army Surplus is Moore County's largest selection of Army surplus. They buy, sell, and trade Army surplus, and they'll match any legitimate offer from competitors with a price match guarantee. They'll match and beat any competitor's price by 10%. With the largest selection of vintage and modern gear and collectibles, War Dogs has everything you're looking for. Open Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. 675 Southwest Broad Street in Southern Pine. Or call 910-920-7749. That's 910-920-7749. War Dogs. We offer more and sell for less.
Say a building and a nuclear plant was set ablaze during intense fighting, triggering fears of a potential nuclear disaster. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky spoke in a televised address today and said through an interpreter,
"Radiation does not know where Russia is."
Former Charlotte resident Andrei Lukashenko, a retired major from Ukrainian armed forces, is currently hunkered down with his wife and 10-year-old son on the outskirts of Kyiv in Ukraine. Lukashenko said he can hear the sounds of the battle from his home.
Right now, it's impossible because all the routes destroyed.
He talked to WBTV. CBS News correspondent Charlie Daggett says the recent quiet in Kyiv appears to be a memory as Russia gains more ground.
It feels like the battle is closing in on the capital, too, this morning. After a period of relative calm over the past couple of days, there's been a considerable increase in the sound of explosions in and around the city.
NASCAR Hall of Famer Richard Childress is working to donate 1 million rounds of ammunition to the people of Ukraine to help them defend against Russian forces. Childress told WXII.
It just hit me where I knew that I'm on the board of directors with Ammo Inc., and I knew we could play a role in making a difference. It may be a small difference. Like I say, they may need 10 million rounds or more, but we want to get that million to them as soon as possible.
New research released to the State Board of Education finds that lost classroom time during the pandemic did have a negative impact on students' performance on state tests. State Superintendent of Public Instruction, Catherine Truitt, tells us.
We absolutely must have students in school. They need to see their principal, they need to see their teachers, they need to be part of their school community.
Roanoke Rapids police say a high school student is in custody for the apparent stabbing of another high school student. The suspect is now in custody. He's in the hospital. You're listening to NCN News.
Why? Just think about it. Why is the #1 selling brand of chainsaws not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot? We can give you over 10,000 reasons. That's how many authorized local steel dealers you can find across the country. Visit one and you'll find a range of dependable gas and battery-powered tools, from trimmers to blowers. And you'll find service from experienced professionals. Real Steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach, and why over 10,000 local steel dealers are putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Just 3 words. Made in America. Real Steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. The majority of steel products sold in America are made in America of U.S. and foreign materials. Batteries and chargers are sourced internationally.
North Carolina Attorney General Josh Stein says he's investigating the social media site TikTok for providing and promoting its platform to children and young adults. He told NCN News.
Kids are experiencing depression, bullying, eating disorders. They're having bad mental images of themselves. And what's really a problem about it is the websites are designed to essentially addict the kid.
You may be paying more at Costco. Diane King Hall has that.
For the first time in 5 years, you could have to pay more for your Costco membership. The bulk retailer says it is possible that rates could go up this year, but the decision has not been made final yet. The warning came after it released its quarterly report card saying it earned $1.3 billion. If Costco does raise membership rates, it would be the first increase since June of 2017.
President Joe Biden put the United States mental health crisis on center stage during his State of the Union address. Meredith Switzer, interim director at All Souls Counseling in Asheville, told WLOS.
I think the pandemic exacerbated the situation, but what we experienced through the pandemic with having to shelter in place, being isolated for so many people, that was the case. Even though we could connect virtually, it just wasn't the same. And I think we're hardwired for connection.
Could a regular routine of crunches and bicep curls help you get more shut-eye? Correspondent Michael George reports.
If you're having trouble sleeping, resistance exercise may be the answer. A study by Iowa State University found people who started regular resistance training got 40 more minutes of sleep per night on average. That's twice as much benefit as people who did aerobic exercise. Not getting enough sleep is linked to several health issues, including increased risk of stroke and heart disease.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Good morning and happy Friday. Mostly sunny, but a cooler day than yesterday. Highs limited to the upper 50s to lower 60s this afternoon, which is actually pretty close to normal for this time of year. Tonight, increasing clouds. Low temperatures dip into the upper 30s to lower 40s, but warming right back up for the weekend. Mostly cloudy Saturday with only a 20% chance for rain. High temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s. I'm meteorologist Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
Right now here in the Sand Hills area, it's sunny, 44 degrees, humidity 51%, dew point 27. Solar radiation 41 watts per square meter, pressure 3049, and winds are calm. It is 8:14. Let's take a look at your Sandhills news. For this Friday morning, drive-through COVID-19 testing returns to Moore County Health Department located at 705 Pinehurst Avenue in Carthage starting Friday, March 4th, and will continue to be offered each Friday thereafter. Testing will be offered in the Health Department's parking lot, and operating hours will be from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Testing is open to the general public, and no physical physician referral is necessary. Everyone who wishes to participate in testing should pre-register by calling 910-267-2044. Pre-registering will help to minimize wait times. There will be no out-of-pocket costs for the testing, regardless of an individual, whether they have health insurance or not. If you do have health insurance, bring your insurance information with you when you come to go get tested. That's your latest Sandhills news this morning from the Sandhills Sentinel. And, of course, you can always go to sandhillsentinel.com for more information. It is 8:16. Sports is next right here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB.
Your morning sports report is brought to you by Hughes Supply of Pinehurst. With over 50 years' experience, Hughes Supply can handle all your plumbing project needs from start to finish. Call 910-295-5541 or visit them online at HughesSupplyPinehurst.com.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. We start with the NHL and the Carolinas Hurricanes having a very off night, generating no measurable offense in a 4-0 shutout to Washington. The team in penalty trouble. Canes coach Rod Brindamore asked to give his report card of last night's performance.
Not great. I'll leave it at that.
The NHL on Thursday, meanwhile, announced the Hurricanes' opponent in next season's outdoor game at Carter Finley Stadium would be the Capitals. The game had been scheduled a couple times, but rescheduled a couple times due to COVID. The new date now, February 18th, 2023. Rod Brindamore asked after last night's loss if he thinks that date is solid.
And I don't think anything ever gets set in stone anyway, the world we're living in. So, we had that announced before, and, if it ever gets to happen, it'll be great. I mean, it's something that I think the area deserves, and it's kind of earned, and certainly the Hurricane fans have. I mean, they've been great, and I think it's be a great venue.
Tomorrow is Mike Krzyzewski's regular season game as coach of the Duke Blue Devils at Cameron Indoor Stadium.
Who would have ever thought? It's my senior day.
Coach K has done much to deflect questions about his pending retirement over the past year, but during yesterday's Q&A with the media to preview tomorrow's season finale versus, fittingly, North Carolina, the floodgates opened when K was asked about his emotions.
I'm not sure how I'll do. I've tried never to look in the past too much or in the future, but a little bit of thinking yesterday, it's your last game in Cameron, right? It's crazy. How did that happen? How is it here?
The game sold out. The asking price for tickets on the secondary market averaging around $5,000. Some tickets going for as high as $50,000 each. This is NCN Sports.
Science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM, is an important part of instruction in North Carolina, but not all schools can provide it. NC Green Power is a nonprofit promoting STEM education through its Solar Plus Schools grant program. Donations to the program help provide training for teachers and hands-on activities for students. Plus, schools save on energy costs with an educational solar array. Help students by supporting Solar Plus Schools today. Visit ncgreenpower.org. Learn more and donate to benefit STEM education. ncgreenpower.org. Do you find yourself considering a home generator when a storm is approaching? It's better to prepare now. A Generac automatic standby generator from Alternative Power guards the home against blackouts caused by weather of all types. 45 years in business and over 10,000 satisfied customers. Act now for a free 10-year warranty on a Generac automatic standby generator from Alternative Power. Terms and conditions apply. Financing options are available. Alternative Power, North Carolina's Generac experts. See more at alternativepower.com.
Day 2 of the women's ACC tournament in Greensboro. Virginia Tech down Clemson. Florida State beat Boston College, and Miami edged Duke. Today's draw has UNC opening play versus Virginia Tech. Top-seeded NC State has drawn the Seminoles. Louisville will take on Miami, and Notre Dame will close out the night against Georgia Tech. Major League Baseball Deputy Commissioner Dan Halem and Chief Union Negotiator Bruce Meyer met for an hour and a half Thursday and talked about the issues in the stalled talks to get a deal done to end the lockout. Negotiations broke off Tuesday after a 9th day of meetings in Florida. That led to Commissioner Rob Manfred announcing opening day on March 31st, and the first 2 series for each team this season has been canceled. Rory McIlroy opening up round 2 of the Bay Hill Invitational with a 2-shot lead over Billy Horschel, Bo Hostler, and J.J. Spawn. He fired a 7-under-65 in yesterday's round 1. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
As our economy gradually reopens, remember to support local.
Know you're doing the right thing and stay proud.
Be a part of the greatest comeback of all time with Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
I'm Congressman Dan Bishop. American troops risk their lives to protect our freedoms every day. But President Biden's policy will punish soldiers for exercising their own freedoms.
Weijia Jiang is at the White House. So Weijia, it was actually President Biden who directed this change.
Service members who refuse to get vaccinated could be reprimanded or punished.
This is not about freedom or personal choice. You've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin, and your refusal has cost all of us.
President Biden's policies are punishing and reprimanding soldiers.
CBS 17's Mackenzie Stasko is live outside Fort Bragg.
At least 350 soldiers at Fort Bragg could see their careers come to an end for refusing the COVID vaccine.
I'm Congressman Dan Bishop. I'm sponsoring legislation to protect our troops from President Biden's vaccine mandate. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
My name is Tony Keith of Keith Hardware in Carthage, North Carolina. I'm the 3rd generation of a family-owned business. We've been in business for 83 years. We sell live bait, crickets, minnows, and worms, fishing tackle, nuts and bolts and screws by the piece. You can still come in and get nails weighed out by the pound, or 1s or 2s, however you'd like.
The guys, they know what they're doing. You don't have to ask for service. You tell them what you need. If they ain't got it, usually they can conjure it up.
Keith Hardware has been a tradition in this town for as long as I've been in business, 42 years, and they run a good business and they're good people.
I came in with 2 pieces of plumbing. I handed it to this guy, and he took off the back, picked it up, and brought it back. Their knowledge is invaluable to me.
With Keith Hardware for 28 years. I rent the building from them next door. And Tony and Ginger are doing an excellent job. I'm proud of them.
Come visit Keith Hardware today at 207 Monroe Street in Carthage.
We're just an old-fashioned hardware store.
You wouldn't hire your mechanic to be your dentist.
All right, buddy, hold still. This might hurt a little.
So why would you hire a propane company, or anybody else for that matter, to install your new generator? Carolina Power and Generators are the generator guys for a reason. They're a certified Generac Elite Plus authorized dealer and licensed gas installer. And they'll not only help you pick a power solution that's just right for your situation, but unlike the other guys, they can also perform maintenance and repairs on most whole home generators. Plus, Carolina Power and Generators keeps a huge inventory of standard sized generators in stock. So let the other guys stick to what they know and leave it to the professionals at Carolina Power and Generators to do the job right. If you already have a generator, let Carolina Power and Generators put together an affordable maintenance plan that'll keep your generator running at its very best. Call today for a free in-home assessment at 910-241-4677 or visit GeneracNC.com and power up today with Carolina Power and Generators.
This is Dr. Terry Ann Sams from Sandhills Weekend Dental. Here we grow again. I am excited to introduce Miss Nancy, our newest team member.
Hello, my name is Nancy. I will be assisting Dr. Sams in your care. I look forward to seeing you.
Call Sandhills Weekend Dental today at 910-687-4423.
Eat, kiss, and smile better.
This is more than just innovation. This is smarter innovation. This is GE Profile at Keys Appliance Center in downtown Aberdeen. This is no spills autofill for hands-free fill-ups from your fridge. This is no preheat air fry right in your oven for food that's crispy without the oil. This is an in-oven cook cam so you can check on your food from your phone. This is smarter innovation. This is GE Profile. Upgrade today with your local appliance experts at Keys Appliance Center, located at 104 East Main Street, downtown Aberdeen. Call us at 910-944-8887 or shop online at keysappliance.com.
At Pool Automotive, being local and family-owned isn't just a title. It's the lifeblood of our business. The moment you walk into our Aberdeen showroom, you'll be treated like family. You see, we believe that all our guests deserve quality, reliable used vehicles, and we have the inventory and finance options to make it happen. When you buy a new vehicle, the second you drive it off the lot, it's already depreciated by thousands. Before you throw that money away, come to Pool Automotive and check out our huge selection of premium vehicles. We have high-quality, off-lease vehicles, most of which are one-owner cars with low mileage and remaining factory warranties. Something else we do to save you even more? We don't charge documentation fees. Yep, you heard us right. No doc fees here. Come in today. 500 South Sandhills Boulevard in Aberdeen, or call 910-637-0057 and experience the Pool advantage.
Thanks for help bringing the economy back. One local purchase at a time.
Kind of uplifts you and you feel better.
It's the greatest comeback of all time. With Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
The Zumwalt Zone is proudly sponsored by Moore County Citizens for Freedom. Always looking out for you.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. There's a great event coming up this Saturday, March the 5th, well, that's tomorrow, at the Southern Pines VFW. It starts at 7 o'clock. Doors open at 6:15. It's a candidate forum. I really hope you'll come out and support it. There'll be candidates there for the United States Senate, state representatives, county commissioners, school board, a whole lot of others. I guess we always think that every election's the most important election, but I'll tell you, this one is important for Moore County. We all know our schools are a complete train wreck. It won't do us any good to elect clones of the legacy board or to re-elect any current board members. We're going to have 4 brand new county commissioners. We've got no excuses if we don't elect the right ones. The same goes for all the other offices. There are few opportunities for us to go and see them all in one spot and hear them answer questions, and then get to go and speak to them and ask them anything you want to ask them. Once again, it's this Saturday, March the 5th, tomorrow. Doors open at 6:15. Not all these folks are true conservatives, even if they try to tell you they are. We've got to weed them out, elect the real deal. Also, I'm not voting for anyone who's been part of this school system. Why would I trust them on the school board when they kept their mouth shut all the years they worked there? So I really hope to see you there. Can't think of a better way to spend a Saturday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. From the Zumwalt Zone.
Happy Friday, a mostly sunny day in the forecast, but much cooler by about 20 to 25 degrees compared to yesterday. Still, it's a pretty nice afternoon with highs in the upper 50s to lower 60s today. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, low temperatures in the upper 30s to lower 40s. Saturday, mostly cloudy, a 20% chance of a shower, but much warmer. Highs back in the upper 60s to lower 70s. I'm meteorologist Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the LeaderMan. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Today is March 4th.
A few hugs can go a long way.
March 4th is Hug a GI Day.
National Hug a GI Day.
Hug a GI Day is a holiday
to honor and appreciate our men and women in the U.S. military.
Give me a hug.
You mean hug me, hug me.
Bring it in. Let's hug this out.
Let's hug it out.
Let's hug it out.
Hug a GI Day.
Give me a hug.
Let us begin.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is time once again for Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams, and don't forget, of course, we're being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's available to you from our website at talk973.com or talk1041.com or weeb990.com. Top middle of the page is where the link's located on your mobile device. You can get it with your YouTube app. Just put Mornings with the LeaderMan into your search. And if you're using a streaming app such as TuneIn, iTunes, or Streamer, put WEEB in there and look for the live tab. And in the upper right-hand corner of our web pages is an icon that says On the Air Listen Live. Click that once you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sandhills, sunny, 59 for a high. Tonight, 42 for a low. Tomorrow, 72 for a high, 57 for a low. Then for Sunday, partly cloudy, 82. Sunday night, 60. Monday, as you head back to work, partly cloudy and 84 degrees. Right now around the Sandhills, winds are calm, pressure is 3049, solar radiation up to 41 watts per square meter, 2.27, humidity 51%. It is sunny and 44 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB. Alrighty, it is 8:32, 32 past the hour on this Friday morning, and time for Friday free-for-all. John's in the house, David's here, Abdul's here. Got a full... Something's wrong on that mic.
Yeah.
No, let's see.
Uh-oh.
No, it's just... All right.
I'm good. Oh, we good. We're getting there. There you go.
There we go.
All else fails, whack.
Steve just had to beat on the correct box, and all of a sudden the microphone started working.
Nice. Morning, guys.
Sounds like one of them the ground's not there. Now it went away.
Hey, that bumper music that you were playing this morning, is that one of the finalists for the greatest bass lines of all time?
What? Well, Elton John?
Yeah, that was not a finalist. That's my point. That was not a finalist. I was referring back to the Tuesday show, the best bass lines of all times.
Ah.
Yeah.
Nice.
We already decided what that was. Rubber Band Man.
No, I think it's Dragon Attack, and another one bites the dust.
There we go. Also, it is National Anthem Day. I know it was Hug Day, but it's also National Anthem Day. Question, who had the best national anthem during the Super Bowl? I'm Whitney Houston.
Me too.
Okay.
Well, I'm a lot older than you guys, but I think the best national anthem that I've ever heard was sung by Cher.
Oh, you got to put Jimi Hendrix up there somewhere.
I thought Cher did an amazing job.
I didn't watch the Cher one. Now I have to go
back and watch. You may not have been born.
Now, Whitney Houston had them all hands down. It was the best version of the song ever. So it's official now. I have spoken.
I just can't think that Cher's the best at anything.
I got to go back and listen to that.
Her and her cultural appropriation. Remember that song Half Breed?
No, I didn't know. I never listened to Cher. Cher was never in the...
Cher, big leftist, she made her name on cultural appropriation. So.
Yeah, the last Cher song I know about is the auto-tune, the Life After Love song. That's all you got. Yeah. I remember Moonstruck. She was in Moonstruck, right? Wasn't she in a movie?
Moonstruck? Yep, Moonstruck.
Yeah, well, see, I actually saw her at the Astrodome as Sonny and Cher. So that's how far back I go with her.
Were you wearing your bell bottoms?
No, I was wearing my Houston police uniform.
I see JD with the blowout fro. I can see it
and his bell bottoms and his Birkenstocks.
I'm not sure I'd be bad-mouthing bell bottoms with that haircut. That looks like a bell bottoms era haircut.
You know what's much more likely?
What's that show? The family, the Partridge Family.
Oh,
okay. Here's a better question, JD.
Yeah.
How many hippies did you give Hickory shampoo to?
Look, any hippies that I was in contact in those days, I had spread on the side of a Volkswagen bus.
Hey, there will be no bashing of microbuses here.
Yeah.
All right.
Beetles are cool. You can bash Beetles, but not microbuses.
Microbuses are cool.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you guys want to hurl my way?
No, it's your turn to lob one back.
I think I have lobbed a couple back. Well, I want to talk about something. Today, this is March, and I heard yesterday we had Nick Pacerno on here. He's a county commissioner.
Right.
And he's a man that I admire very much, a strong man who stands up and does what he believes to be right. And on the other hand, we've got a commissioner. He's the chief of, or the chairman of the county commissioners. His name is Frank Quiz. I don't think so much of Frank. I've talked about him quite a bit. Let me go back in history just a minute and remind you that Pauline Bruno and Bill DeMassis had an idea a couple of years ago now. They were going to bring what they call the Charters of Freedom to Moore County. Charters of Freedom is just a monument. It consists of the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights being kind of enshrined. And it's a beautiful thing. And they had a plan to have it built. They had people who were going to build it free. It was going to cost zero tax money, not a dime. And it was going to be built. It would have been built a year ago, I imagine, by now. And then enter Frank Quiz, chairman of the Board of Commissioners for the County of Moore. Frank got involved, and everything came to a screeching halt. And all the folks that were involved in this were going to do it for nothing, and they were going to donate money, and they were going to donate time, all pulled out. So I heard Frank go to a meeting, Republican meeting, and he stood up and said, I will have this thing built by March. Well, March has arrived. I sent Frank well, in fact, I sent him 2 emails asking him, Frank, where may I go view this thing? Because you said it would be built in March. Well, it hasn't been built. And, of course, it's probably no plan for it to be built. Folks, this is a monument that was going to be built free, not free, but donated. It would cost zero tax money, and we still don't have it. It was a place for kids to pull up in school buses and for all of us to go see it. The Bill of Rights, the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the chairperson of the Moore County Commissioners put a screeching halt to it. Now, he's going to have a spin on what he did. He has not answered my mail. He will not come on this show to explain it. It's a shame. It is a shame. It is a shame. If we can't even get something built here free, without tax money, I should say, because of the interference of the Board of Commissioners, and I shouldn't say all of them, Frank Quiz, then we've got a problem. And
so what was Quiz's objection to having a copy of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence on public display on county property? Did it not have enough wokeness in it? Because he came from Southern Pines, so he's got to be a closet Democrat. So what exactly was his? He was the mayor of Southern Pines. Absolutely a closet Democrat. I just want to make sure I said that again. So what was his objection to it? It wasn't like it didn't have a statue of Lenin along with it, or?
Well, you know, our perennial Democrat candidate, Lowell Simon, wrote a letter to the editor objecting to that being put in. Right after that, Frank Quiz got involved. He said he represents everyone, not just the Republicans, even though he ran as a Republican. And you know what? The heck with that. Everyone should be in favor of this thing. But Frank didn't really like the location because some other people objected to it. And then he got involved. And when you start getting all wishy-washy, when you have people who are donating money and when you have builders who say, I will do this for nothing, pretty soon they get tired of this crap, and he's pulled out. And so he just wrecked the whole thing, and now he can't find anybody, and we're in a heck of a mess. This is a shame.
When this whole thing was going down and Quiz was blocking every attempt to locate it at the old county courthouse, the new county courthouse, the veterans thing up there in Carthage, I stepped forward and suggested that we put it at Pinecrest High School. There are a couple excellent locations at Pinecrest High School. Pinecrest, Moore County Schools owns, I forget, 100 acres or whatever around Pinecrest, and there are a couple excellent locations. There's plenty of parking. It could be illuminated 24 hours a day. People could visit it 24 hours a day. So I'm sure Nick Pacerno will get this squared away, and because the voters will want it squared away. And Nick will actually listen to the people of Moore County, not special interests coming from the Pilot or Southern Pines. But, we'll certainly find a home for it on Moore County school properties if for some reason the county can't do it. Like I said, Pinecrest or Union Pines, we have great locations in Moore County. And then Moore County school students can go visit it, and teachers can go out and teach about the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence and what great people our forefathers were and what great documents those are.
Well, a listener just texted me and reminded me that Pauline Bruno had invited Democrats to join them, but they declined. And this is not a problem that we could not find a place. The veterans folks out there, the people in charge of the veterans area out there, have been blamed for this, but they have agreed on a place. And Quiz kind of misconstrued the whole thing. I can't. The veterans have been blamed for this, and it's not them. It's not them that is doing this. It's the 100% Frank Quiz.
So I need to tease something out for my own mental, because I'm enjoying this. But so when you say you don't don't just represent Republicans, is that to say you also represent people who don't think America is a wonderful place? You got to be mindful of the people who don't love America, is what you're saying?
Well, that's who he's representing. All Americans, right, left, or center, should love our Constitution and our Declaration of Independence. So who exactly is Quiz the Squish listening to?
Yeah, that should be non-controversial.
Right.
All right, I've got a text here I've got to read to you guys. And I kind of agree with him. He says, Ukraine's nuclear plant is ablaze, and you guys are talking about Cher and Whitney Houston? Any response?
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's 24/7 on the TV news networks. They got resources to, on the ground there, we don't. We can give our lay opinions of it, but sometimes you just got to lighten things up and enjoy talking about other things.
I'll say to the listener, I have no particular expertise at all about nuclear plants or the war. I can only state that I'm same thing everyone else. It's amazing to me that Putin would go in and invade a country, and we all know why he did it, because we've got a weak president who showed no who he knew he wouldn't do anything.
So I wasn't paying attention to the original question. I was answering a very important email, but I will chime in anyway. The only thing I know about Ukraine and Russia and this whole mess is when Trump was in office, we did not have any country lobbying artillery into nuclear power plants of any other country. We didn't have any country invading another sovereign country. In fact, that's only happened under two recent presidents. One was Obama when Putin took over the Crimea, and one was under Obama, yeah. And now fast forward under Biden, we have this mess now. But, I have to say there's no more mean tweets, and, the voters, let's vote anti-Trump. So
I have to thoroughly just say here that I paid $3.89 a gallon for gas on my way here this morning. So while I'm sorry for the folks that are going through Ukraine. Yeah. I'm sorry for that. But bro, $3.89. Yeah.
So $100. I've got an F-250 diesel.
Let's go, Brandon.
$100 used to fill up my F-250. I put $100 in it last night because that's when the gas pump stopped, and it didn't come close to filling up my tank.
Nah.
Let me tell you something. It won't be long. You'll be looking back to the good old days when you paid $3.89 a gallon for gas. That's what's happening.
Look, I remember when I first started paying attention to the gas price when I was young and I first got my car. I was just like, put $5 in, that'll get you a half a tank. And I remember the first time in New York when gas hit like $1 something. I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
So here's the real lesson from this. If everyone needs to remember back when Trump was in office, we had 4 years of screeching leftists, the flying monkey screaming at the top of the lung. Trump's going to get us into a war. Trump's going to start World War III. Okay, the reality is Biden started a war, and Biden may get us in World War III, right?
Right. Well,
Then under Bush, we heard Bush and Cheney in bed for the oil companies. Bush and Cheney in bed for the oil companies. So who got the gas? Who is enriching the Saudis, and who's enriching Russia through high gas prices? It's not George Bush. The Democrats do the opposite. The Democrats do what they accuse our people of doing.
Well, one thing real quick that I just want to be mindful of is I'm not falling for the distraction. Our southern border is still a problem. We got issues here. So while I respect, I get it, but the southern border crisis hasn't stopped. We all got like that movie where it's like squirrel and everybody pays attention to the next moving thing. Our southern border is still an issue. So,
well, speaking of things that are still an issue, thing like that, I think we need to talk a little bit about our schools, and specifically the election that's coming up. We've had, as you well know, Adul, we've had 3 school board members, including David, who've been on our side and who've tried to make things better. It's almost impossible. They've got 3 votes against 4. Now, one of our school board members has decided to run for re-election, and that would be the chairperson, Pam Thompson. And Pam has got a terrible Pam is the epitome. She is the perfect picture of every single thing that is wrong with our schools and our schools all over the country. David, was she the sole vote for CRT?
Pam Thompson was the sole vote to keep CRT and to not ban CRTs in our schools. Pam Thompson has been on the wrong side of almost every issue. If I can step back a little bit and tie it back to what I said earlier, though, the Democrats do what they accuse us of doing. The left in Moore County accuses us. I had Bob Levy and Philip Holmes over my house one day, and before they even left, before they even departed my house, the left was sending text messages to us. Oh, you guys are meeting, you guys are conspiring, right?
Right.
So let's get the politics out of our schools. So let's back up and let's talk about coordinated stuff. So the first day of filing, when the filing was open in December, 3 candidates marched up to the Department of Elections. What's her name? Rolly Sampson, Robin Calcutt, and I forget her first name, Manus, out of Northmore. They all registered together. They all had similar Gmail accounts, first name dot last name BOE at Gmail. But that wasn't coordinated.
No.
That wasn't coordinated at all, because the left doesn't coordinate anything. Then fast forward to this. Yesterday or the day before, Miss Manus pulls out of the race, and Shannon's running unopposed. And I'm like, well, this is a good development. There's somebody who understands they're going to get crushed and doesn't want to go through the embarrassment of an election like Robin Calcutt and Rolly Sampson. It's, these people are going to get crushed. I don't even know why they're running. So I thought Miss Manus just had a flash of common sense and withdrew. She withdraws, and the next day, Pam Thompson registers. But there's no collusion, there's no coordination, there's no, hey, Pam Thompson's decided she wants to run, so the other person withdraws. So that's another example of the left projecting and doing what they accuse us of. And oh, by the way, there's no politics on the school board for the left. But more importantly, that trio, Pam Thompson. So let's see, we have Robin Calcutt, who led the charge to eliminate valedictorians and salutatorians from our schools.
Wait, what? So these kids don't?
Yeah, Moore County Schools does not recognize valedictorians and salutatorians because Pam Thompson voted multiple times to eliminate. Just last meeting, Pam Thompson voted to eliminate valedictorians and salutatorians. And Robin Calcutt, who's an academic who came from the academic industrial complex. In 2018, she was the director of, get this, get this. This lady's running for school board, and in 2018, she was the director of planning and accountability for Moore County schools.
So you're in charge of planning and
Yes.
accountability? Okay.
So every disaster that you see right now, Robin Calcup 4 years ago was the director of planning and account. I've got so much to say about everybody who's running, and she led the charge to eliminate valedictorians and salutatorians, and Pam Thompson voted for it. But Pam Thompson, she's really nice. She's very, very got a great personality. She's very friendly. She's very unlike the previous chair, who was bitter and angry all the time.
Well, don't forget one thing Pam Thompson did, and I can't even say this without chuckling. Bob Levy, and if you know Bob Levy, you know what Bob Levy looks like. You know what Bob Levy acts like. You know how he talks. Pam accused him of being a Nazi. Now Bob is a Jewish man.
I'm about to say the last name Levy. Oh,
yeah.
Bob is Jewish. He's a practicing Jew. He's everything about him is kind, and of all people for Pam. By the way, David, she didn't just mention it to her neighbors. She brought this up at a school board meeting,
right,
publicly.
Right. Yeah. So Pam Thompson had a rendezvous with somebody at a Food Lion. I don't know. I think it was the purple-haired mayor of Whispering Pines spreading rumors, right? But somehow Pam Thompson ran into somebody and heard a rumor about Levy, and then accused Bob Levy, my friend, the only Jewish member of the school board, accused him of being a Nazi.
that is amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
David, I have a question for you here. Someone texted in. They want to know why students have to pay for parking, but you get to park free if you go watch a football game.
You know, that is something that, you know, I've had to spend so much time in the last year and a half getting the incumbent school board members to include Pam Thompson to follow the law. And I can point out plenty of times where Pam Thompson voted in violation of North Carolina law. But I haven't been able to talk about things. The North Carolina Constitution guarantees the young men and women, our children, a free public education. Fees are not free.
Correct.
Fees are not free. There should not be parking fees. There should not be any fees in Moore County schools. Fees are not, separate is not equal, and fees are not free.
Hey, I've got a question that texted in and directed to you, Adol.
Okay.
It says, I'll just read it. Can you ask Adol to talk about the Frederick Douglass Foundation? We need to get more blacks in Moore County activated and motivated. Thank you.
Would love to talk about the Frederick Douglass Foundation. Shouts out to Clarence Henderson and Valerie and Shamika and Tansy, the whole team. And one thing that's interesting, and I'll relate this to education, and we talk about this off the air a lot with David, and the major thing is a lot of the policies that the left is advocating for are detrimental to minority students. Think about a low-income black student that may be lucky enough to get a car. Now I got to come up with money to park at school. So, you know, we as a foundation, we are fighting daily and across multiple counties in the state to pull more black folks into the party. I'll be doing some work out here in Moore County in the coming months and look forward to reaching out to people. And I've got lunch with some community leaders here coming up next week. Just confirmed that this morning. But
Good.
This is going to be a really good opportunity. You can go to fdfnc.org if you want to join the foundation. We've got a big convention coming up in late August. It'll be somewhere really, really nice. We'll announce that later. But the Frederick Douglass Foundation is a wonderful organization.
So if you're looking for a place to have a conference, or, you know, come to Pinehurst, we'll welcome you. We have a great conference center, a convention. But let's talk about the Frederick Douglass Foundation's views on parental choice versus the leftist Democrats' views. As everyone knows, I'm a huge supporter of charter schools. As everyone knows, I led the charge that the May Street School, the former Southern Pines Elementary, not be sold to developers and bulldozed and turned into condos, but that be sold to the Montessori school as a charter school. And a huge number of people more Montessori significantly overweights minorities and low social economic people in their program. If it was up to the Democrats, the minorities and low social economic people would not have the choice to send their children to a high-performing charter school. Instead, the Democrats want to sentence those children to attend Moore County public schools, where we know less than 25% of African American students can read and write at grade level in 8th grade.
So one of the things we're working to do with the Frederick Douglass Foundation is change the narrative around the relationship between charter schools and lead education agencies in the counties. These two things should be working symbiotically to provide the parent with the most options, whether that be homeschool, charter school, public, or private, through the Opportunity Scholarship Program. So we as a foundation are meeting across the state with school board members, trying to change that dynamic and talking with educators. You know, it's organizations like the NCEA and the NEA that are targeting the charters against the public schools, when these two things should be working to provide the parent and the student with the best education.
Well, it's another example, Abdul, and you have many, because you and I have talked about it, where these leftist organizations that have been around a long time advocate for things that are against what the people want. Parents want parental choice.
Right.
Parents, there's a waiting list for children to get into more Montessori, but we talked about this on Tuesday. The organizations that profess to represent minorities in Moore County, they want to take away that choice. They don't want to have educational opportunities for children.
Well, look, I'm in the fight. Frederick Douglass Foundation's in the fight, like
Awesome.
I know you are. Again, fdfnc.org if you want to find out more about what we're doing. And then we've got some wonderful partnerships with some nonprofits coming up. I don't know how much we want to announce right now, but we got some big things coming up.
Yeah, and we'll talk offline about your convention. That's exciting.
All right, well, you talk about deflection. Deflection is exactly what we get when we start bringing up the grades for black students in Moore County. And I've talked about them over and over and over. Less than 7% of black students who graduate in Moore County, less than 7% or score high enough on the end of grade test to even enter college without going through remedial courses. And that is maybe the best stat I can throw at you. Let me just say this, they're disturbing for white students as well. Right. But they're horrendously awful for black students, and we can't get anybody to talk about them.
And by the way, we're going to fix that in Moore County schools. Moore County schools needs competition. More traditional public schools needs competition, because that will make them better. But we're going to fix that. We're going to fix these horrendous results in Moore County schools. But it's not going to be fixed by electing 3 rubber stampers back to the school board. So we go back to the days of Helena Wallen Miller, the previous superintendent, where all they do is look to Wake County. Let's make our schools like Wake County. Let's make our we need people who can actually fix this, not people who are going to return us to the bad days.
All right, thanks guys, and so it goes for this Friday and this week. Have yourself a great, safe weekend. We'll see you back bright and early Monday for Monday. Until then, be sure to support the advertisers you hear on WEEB. Why? Because they live here, work here, their money stays here, rolls over, and creates more jobs for our community. And be sure to tell them WEEB asked you to come. And don't forget, millions of Americans have fought. They have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams, and the LeaderMan and Nick and Colt the dog will all see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the dog park.